Good morning. All right, we are going to enter a dummy quote, dummy part, dummy customer here in E2 so we can get some comparisons. All right, quoting. Just going to go straight to quotes. We are going to do a new quote for test ERP, customer name. All right, quote date, follow date. Here we go. Line items. We are going to do a new manufactured part. And I don't know, we're going to call it widget 123, 1234. All right. You're going to go with description. This is for the part. I don't know. What are we going to call it? This widget is a description is a test part for ERP. Is a manufactured part, and the alternate part number we can put in here is I don't know. We'll just throw something in there. All right, so we're not going to worry about what's here in the markup yet. We're going to throw some stuff down here in the bottom, and then we'll go from there. This quote is going to be at a billing rate of 1. We got 1 and 2. We are adding a 3, a premium plus that will be coming up. This miscellaneous tooling charge, it doesn't really do anything. It's kind of weird. So it doesn't really do anything. Let's just say we had a blueprint and it was revision A and the drawing number on it was 1234-5456-678. I don't know. Whatever. We can put the revision date on there. All good stuff to have. All right, commission percentage. Again, I am not sure. I know the miscellaneous tooling doesn't work anywhere. I don't think this works either. It's not being tied in to anything. All right, so we're going to route it by myself. Number 200. All right, and today. So we're going to add a row. I don't know. What do we want to make? Let's go with sheet, carbon steel, A1011, hot rolled stuff. And let's say I need a 11 gauge 4x8. Boom. And we're going to need a quarter sheet of that. Last time we priced it, it was $100 a sheet. So we're good. I'm going to tab all the way through here. Let's go with some angle carbon steel. Go with quarter wall by 2. If I can find it, quarter by 2. Quarter by 2 by 2, 20 feet. So, and it's going to say we're going to use half a stick, 0.5. I'll have to look up, say, screws. So this is only searching by the code, not by the description. It would be nice to have it scour both, or someday if we use a common naming system, X-head cap screw, we can do that. Right now they're probably in some McMaster car numbers. So there. Got some left-hand screws. I don't know, but whatever. I can do it this way. X-head cap screw, half 13 by 1.5 inches. grade 5 zinc. So I just basically made that part in here, and we're going to need 16 of them. We're going to get them from Pyramid, and they're $1.25 a piece. So, like I said, cap screw. That's 13 by 1.5 long, grade 5 zinc. And let's go with some nuts. That's 13, grade 5 zinc. So we're going to need 16 of those. We're going to get them from Pyramid also. And we'll just call them 99 cents. Let's just say I had. So this is going to be $1.87. And this is going to be $1.50. So half 13 nuts, zinc. Let's go grade 5 first. Grade 5 zinc. And I don't know, we'll throw some washers in there. Half-inch washers. We're going to put 32 of them in there. And they're 15 cents each, so 23. Half-inch zinc washers. Done. All right, so this is going to get us one. Now we're going to route this. We're going to add a row. First thing we're going to do is drafting, and we're going to do an hour in drafting. It's not good. We're just going to do a straight up hour. And then we're going to do some laser. And we'll go back to minutes. And we're going to go, I don't know, 10 minutes a piece. And then we're going to go saw. So this gets funny on the end. You kind of got to do it backwards. You can't go left to right because if you saw it just changed all this, right? So if I go back to machine, which is weird, it's something it changes the actual values over here too. So unfortunately, if you were to work left to right, machine gets a saw, and then all of a sudden you change this to saw, you wipe these numbers out for whatever reason. And again, we're going to default this back to minutes, and we're going to go with each part is going to be, say, 3 minutes of saw cut, and let's say there's 5 saw cuts, so 15 minutes. All right, then we're going to throw this back into the machine shop, and we're going to pick a, I don't know, CNC mill. Let's just say we're popping some holes in something, and we're going to do setup and mill, setup and interpolate holes in angle. I don't know, just something. All right, and then we're going to have to go back to weld, and we can do it up per print. Let's say it's going to take 4 hours for them to weld it. All right, so we got here, and then we're going to add a row and weld. And it's going to take 3 hours. Welcome to weld complete. Per print. And all right, after weld, we're going to add a row here. We're going to sandblast. And run half hour, an hour for sandblast. Then we're going to add another row. Paint. And it's going to take him an hour and a half to paint. And then we're going to throw an inspection. And we're going to give him an hour, or call it final inspection. And then we're going to do a pack and ship, packing. And give him half an hour to do that. All right, so we are now essentially complete on getting this ready to go. The only thing we don't have is the quantities here. And, you know, if I do my markup percentage here, calculate, boom, now I have a price. Let's say I want to do 5 of them. I'm going to use the same markup. And let's say 20. They told me to. So now I have the markup. Oh, sorry. This is 25. I got ahead of myself, but I'm gonna straighten that out. All right. So we now have our quantities here. So if the customer decides to order 1, 5, or 20, we've got it. We have their pricing here. The unit cost, it's based on everything else. This is using the billing rate, right? This is not using cost plus markup. So I don't know if I can double this up. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so let's go with 21 just to get it close. All right, so we're super close here on the 20 and 21, but 43.57. If I change this to cost plus markup and hit calculate, everything's gone, right? But if I go and let's go 65%, which should give us close to 43. You see, we're almost there now, so 70%. So this is cost plus markup, right? And that gets me pretty close that I'm going to sell 21 at 1170. If I go back to billing rate's going to have everything already in there. Recalculate. And you can see back to 0 here. Calculate. Pretty close, right? I didn't have the exact number and I could have fudged with it a little more to get that exact number, but we're there. So we need to have a way to do either the billing rate or the cost plus markup. Most of the time, we are just going to use the billing rate. So we are going to use the unit price down here and the billing rate set up in these operations to get everything right. So there will be times that we use cost plus markup, but that is not going to be the norm. That is going to be the exception. The billing rate is what our norm is going to be. So, and down here you can see we've got a breakout of for total material cost and a breakout down here of total hours in setup time and in cycle time. And both of those are kind of important to figure out where we're at as a whole. So just helps not going into it blind. So save. And I can save and print quote, single quote, generate. And it's going to take a second, but it should pop up right here. And here's our full quote. And we see all 3 quantities, quantity 1, quantity 5, and quantity 20, and the pricing available to each. So, all right. Cool. Thanks.